It tells you to clear the fractions, find the least by every term in the equation by the least common denominator, including terms that do not have fractions. So this is where the biggest mistake is made. People will jump over the ones that don't have a fraction, or they'll forget to do the other side of the equation, all right? All fractions should be gone. So your whole goal of doing this is to get rid of your fractions. So if you get to the end of this and you didn't get rid of your fractions, then you did something wrong. All right, so you're going to look at the fractions that you have, and you're going to say, what's my least common denominator? So look at this first one. They gave us a simple one. Least common denominator between 6 and 3 is what? 6. So that's going to go in my least common denominator. That is what I'm going to multiply everything by, including this 2 over here. All right? So when I do this, my goal is to get rid of my fractions. My 6's cancel. What do I have on this left side? 1 times 5, which is 5. All right, 5D. 6 divided by 3 is what? 2. So 2 times 1 times D. And then 2 times 6 is 12. All right? So then I have a much simpler problem than I started out with. All right? Because you could have solved this problem without doing that process. You could have just subtracted the 1/3 D over, then gotten a common denominator, then divided, and then kept all of your denominators till the end. And eventually they would actually get rid of themselves. But this is a much easier process. You're getting rid of it at first, okay? So now I can just subtract my 2 over. I have 3 equals 12. So what is D going to equal? Yeah. All right, easy. We have several fractions here. We have 2, 3, and 4. So what's my common denominator between 2, 3, and 4?
12.
Yeah, so if I look at the 2 and the 3, they both go into 12. And so I am going to multiply everything then by 12. So multiply this by 12, this by 12, this by 12, and then don't forget the 1. Multiply that by 12. All right? So when I do that, I'm going to just divide those by those denominators. So for this one, it's going to be 12. So see, 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6 times x, minus 12 divided by 3 is 4 times x. 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 1 times x. And 1 times 12 is 12. All right? And then we're just combining like terms and moving on. So we have 2x here. Subtract your 3x over. Negative 1x equals negative 12. So we need to divide both sides by negative 1 here. All right? So that is the process we're doing every single time. These rules right here is what you're going to follow when you have your fractions. So with decimals, you're going to find the term with the most decimal places and determine which power of 10 it can be multiplied by. Multiply every by the power of 10. Another way to think of this is you are moving the decimal places however many places you have the most of. All right? So for this first one, I have 1 decimal place in each one of these. All right? 1 decimal, 1 decimal, 1. So I can move them all over 1 decimal place. And then I can just solve that way. All right. And so now I have a really easy problem to solve. Move my variables over to one side, move my numbers over to the other. On the left-hand side, 12 minus 1 is 11y. Negative and positive 4 cancel. On the right-hand side, positive and negative y cancel. And 18 and 4 give me 22. And then I have y equals 2. If it is more than 1 decimal, just move them however many places. If you have something that you move and you have an empty spot, just plug it in with a 0, all right? For this one, they're all 2, so I can move them all over 2. All right? Again, you're moving your variables over at this point to one side, your numbers over to the other. All right, so when we do this, we are going to 11y minus 11y cancels. We have negative 9 minus 6 gives us negative 15. On the right-hand side, I have 14y minus 11y is 3y. 6 and negative 6 cancel. And then I get y equals negative 5.